Hi Libra, Happy New Year. It is the Lunar New Year and it means it's a new moon, a new year in the lunar cycle, and we're ready, we're here. So this is a reading for the 1st of February till the 9th of February. I'm going to be doing weekly readings and monthly readings. So I decided to start with like the full week just because it starts on a Saturday and on a Sunday, and then we can get into the flow of weeklies. So I'm just pulling your cards for you. I am using the Queen of the Moon Oracle and then also Moonology as a supporting deck. So I figured the moon ones were really fitting with us being in a new lunar cycle. There we go. Okay, let's start. So we start with boundaries. So are you protecting your boundaries? And that's the first question I have for you, Libra. Let's have a look at your card for you. So I do feel like at the moment you're in your own little bubble. I feel like you have plans, goals, aspirations, and I feel as though you're in this space where you kind of just need to go and do your own thing. I do feel like you need to ensure with this card that you are keeping your boundaries, keeping within your boundaries, and make sure people are not crossing them. However, I more feel like this is just a time that you are using that skill, keeping in your own circle and not letting anyone kind of impact you, which is a great thing. I feel like you're protected against negative words or anything that other people might be saying. I just feel like that's just bouncing off you. So I'm loving that. It feels like a strong position for you to be doing whatever you want to do. Do allow positive in though. I feel like you may be so intense because we have a lot of intense feelings. It's like emotions and things are intense right now. So I feel like everything's heightened, everything is extra. So in this way, I feel like there's a potential that you are being too focused. And I think that Libra, this is something that is naturally just in your nature where you'll get too focused on having fun, too focused on work, too focused on just one thing, where it gets so intense until you burn out in that and realize that, whoa, I've been overworking and haven't been spending enough time with my family or not enjoying life. Or the opposite, been too chill, too much fun, and oh no, I've got a lot of work and now it's going to start stressing me out. So just be aware of that. I feel in this sense it's kind of like allow the good things to still seep through. So know that your boundaries, it's unhealthy to have too firm a boundary. You kind of need to be a little bit more flexible in that. But as a whole, I just feel like you're in your element right now, in a really positive way of getting stuff done for yourself. Yeah, so this next card is gratitude. It is in alignment with me, with what I was just saying about allowing in the good and the positive. The gratitude card is basically, being grateful for what it is you have in life and being present in the moment more so, I feel. For me, I definitely sense that it's just kind of realizing the love and the family that you have around you. I feel like if you are that focused on, for example, a work issue, that you will maybe not be fully aware of what it is that you have also wanting your attention. I kind of have this image of like a parent holding their child's hand and their child like just being like, I love you, mummy, and you're not hearing it because you're too busy thinking about, what I've got to do at work tomorrow. That's just an example of the energy. It's kind of though, just remember the little things because they matter just as much. Next we have self-reflection. It is a time to be thinking of the self. So I feel like you are actually on this path quite easily at the moment, Libra, where you are thinking about where it is you want to go, what it is you want to do, and that focus is just the energy we're in at the moment with all the planetary alignments. It's just it. So you're vibing the vibes. Let me have a look, see what I get more for you personally. I do feel like you're in a very good space. I just can't help but feel that this is just a really good space for you to be in. Emotional maturity, I feel like you've come a long way. Self-reflection and gratitude together can be really about looking how far you've come, and seeing how strong that you are. Not that you've been through the hard times and, oh, look how strong you are, you've got resilience. In a way that, look how far you've come in life right now. And this is all because of all the work that you have done. This is the kind of self-reflection I'm sensing from you, and taking that as a tool for you to use moving forward. As though I feel as there could be this sense of a niggling bit of self-doubt, and then it's realizing that, wait, I know what I'm doing. I've done this before. I can do it again. And I do feel like we have this energy that is bringing forth, doing things that we've done before that we've wanted to do, like dreams that you may have started but you never finalized. I have that sense that that's happening to across science, across just humanity in general, of us actually doing it better this time, completing it, finishing what we started, and then now with the knowledge, the wisdom, moving forward onto our goals. Sovereignty. Yeah, you're definitely a queen or king. This card is like, you are manifesting, you're in control. Now we have this massive major leadership energy in, and I feel like there's so many businesses opening up at the moment, so many people just really assessing where they're at, because I think we've had so much turmoil over the last couple of years, like 5 years, where we really have had to break ourselves all the way down to plant our seeds in the fresh soil, and we're starting to bloom. And well, we've already done the growing, we're now blooming. We're starting to bloom, so the buds are there, and the little things that you're doing now, I feel as though it's not planting seeds. You are literally working from a soil that is already harvested before, so again, you are in control. You're manifesting your garden, and I'm literally just seeing green fields of just freshly planted seeds all now coming up and sprouting, and you really thinking, you know what, I'm doing this. It's me that's done this, and it's me who can do this. So definitely that leadership vibe. So if there's something you're wanting to start, definitely this is a nod in the right direction. Like, yes, you know what you're doing, you know what you need to do, let's go. If it's something you've already started, this is saying, this is great. We next have growth, so definitely growth there in that inspiration. Let me have a look at this one for you. Now is the time. This is saying that things do take time to grow, so again, don't expect something to just happen overnight and give up. This is something to work upon and to build, and this time it will stay solid and kind of more better structured is what I want to say with this, which is quite interesting. But again, you have all the time in the world, so good things take time, or good things come to those who wait. Those kind of vibes, as though take your time in doing this. Like, you want something built that is solid. And I feel like this is saying, like, you can do this, you've got this, it's already halfway there, sort of thing. Definitely building the legacy vibe. So anyone who is thinking business, starting a business, continue a business, promotions, getting up that ladder, this is the time to do it right now. Next we have purity. It's in reverse, so again, it wants you to know this. It's trusting and looking within. This is like, you are the formula that you need. And again, this is the energy in the air at the moment. It's about self-reflection, self-love, desires, self-wants, and putting that out into the world. It sounds selfish, but at the moment, the energy that we are in, and with the things going on in the world, we're in a space where we need to start just shining as we are, living authentically in our space. We don't have to do anything more than just be us. A lot of people are like, I want to be a part of this, I don't know what to do, everything's going all crazy. The thing that you need to do is to live authentically in a very authentic space. Some people feel that they have to be more than in order to impact. It's impactful, and I'll use the LGBTQ community as an example. We have very extravagant people who are out there, and they're the ones that are seen, and they're beautiful, they're powerful, but again, that's not always the way that is the most impactful. Sometimes the most impactful, especially among communities that are conservative and against those things, very negative areas, the impactful ones are the guys that they meet at work who they didn't realize were in same-sex marriages. Really decent guy, he's helped me out so many times, and he's been married and he keeps it to himself, and it's not that that's a good thing. Everyone should be allowed and proud and allowed to be out there. But what I'm saying is, even those quiet ones are sometimes the armed forces that you need to make the point, as in we're all just normal, everyday people living our lives. That is just as impactful. And sometimes that person who just wants to have a private life, get on with their life, because not everybody is the same, is the one that ends up changing somebody's mind. And it's like, because not everyone is for everyone, and that is perfectly acceptable and perfectly okay. But some people don't realize that it is until they experience it and witness it. And potentially you just living authentically, being quiet, being just doing your own thing, because all you want to do is get married, be with someone, live a normal life. You don't want to be out there on stage. You don't want to be extravagant. You don't want to be a voice on the internet or in the media. You just want to be able to live with your rights the way that everybody's entitled to. That is revolutionary enough. And I just feel like that's a message we have to put out there. So that is an example. Obviously, this may not be applying to you. This is an example of the energy of you thinking, what if I'm not doing enough in my area of work? What if I'm not doing enough in my life? What if I'm not representing women enough with a lot of what's going on? You are. By being a woman, you represent women. By being a good husband, you're representing women, because you're supportive of women. You're supportive of your children who are in the communities that are targeted against. You are authentically just being yourself. And when we do that, that's the energy, collective energy we're in. And that is what will work with you on your path to success, building and growing what you want to build, whether it be a career, whether it wants to be a family, whether it wants to be something that is public. The only way you're going to authentically get there with the support of the energies, and for us to have the supporting energies supporting us, because at the end of the day, the universe, God, the gods, whatever it is that your belief system believes in, they are not human. They are supporting the energy that we're putting out there, because that's the point. They're here as guidance, as support, not as telling us, controlling us, making things happen. Yeah, they are supporting the energy that we're putting out there. So understand that you do not need to know where you're going, where this is going, the end mark. You just need to put your mark on one step at a time, and trust that you are enough, dancing your own dance in your own way, not with the noise of other people, which again, I feel like Libra, you're already in that energy where you are protecting your space anyway. But that's a friendly reminder that you just dance the dance your own way. Trust. This is trust in the universe. This is trust in what you're growing, actually. And again, it's trusting that even if you do feel vulnerable, scared, have those doubts, that's not going to stop you unless you allow it to. When we first birth something, it's in a very vulnerable state, and I do feel like this whole reading is about you growing something, nurturing something into life. It can feel very vulnerable, it can be intimidating, it can prevent you from really hatching it, because you think, the comfort of the not knowing is better than the comfort of not knowing and jumping out and leaving that space. But I find that actually, if we really look at our life, the moments that we didn't take the risk, the moments where we waited 2 years to start now, is just a wasted space, a wasted time, that now you're going to try it now and you could have tried it then. Now, I would argue that this is the right time, but what I'm saying is, like, if you're doing it now, why couldn't you have done it then as well? So it's trusting and knowing that the time is right when you feel the time is right, and to just go with it and not allow those self-doubts to get in. Next, we have resistance, and I would like to say that I'm basically telling you the reading before I even get to the cards, as always. But this is, again, resistance to anything that might try and hinder you, to stop you, prevent you from moving forward. It is just a distraction, and sometimes if we allow fears and doubts and anger and all of those really heavy feelings to stop us from doing something, then the people that want you to feel those things, that are testing and pushing, are succeeding. And this is in relationships too. I want us to realize that if you're in a relationship that prevents you from doing anything that you think is a good idea, that you think will better your life, that you're putting their needs before your own, then this is something that's blocking you. It's resistance. It's toxic to you and harmful to you. And you need to realize that just being yourself should be something that naturally comes naturally in your relationships, in your environments that you surround yourself in. And if it doesn't, and you start feeling resistance, this is when you need to realize that you're growing from a space that is hindering your growth. It's going to be harder. It's going to be a more rough terrain. So I feel like now is the time again for you to really self-assess what it is you want and what is hindering you, and to make the tough calls. But again, authentically right for you. Now I'm in the last 4 cards. You've actually got 5, but in 4 card positions. These are supporting energy of what we've just said. So it wants you to really think, what do you need to release? That really goes on what I was just saying about letting go of toxic environments and really moving on from what is hindering you. I do feel for a large part it is past beliefs and just dropping it, realizing like this new sense of purpose, this new sense of space, whatever that is to you. It can be something that's very small, that's really big to you. It might seem small to others, but it's a big thing. Or it may be something major, big life changes. That is for you to decide, but what is it that you need to release is a message, that is a question that you've got to ask yourself. Hold on to your vision. This was in reverse as well. It really wants you to pay attention to all of these. They are all in reverse position. Hold on to your vision. I do feel like you have something in your eye, in your mind's eye, that you can see and envision. Keep hold of that. Use it as incentive. Know that you can and that you will. Next we have your dreams need a practical plan, full moon in Taurus, and a time for healing. So again, with that second card, was it? No, the third card, self-reflection, and I felt like it is time for you to really look and think and plan, because we're going to do things differently, or not necessarily do things differently. It's more using the skills or things that you learned from last time in order to make sure that it's not going to happen again. I hope that makes sense. Your dreams need a practical plan. I feel as though potentially that's been an issue, not as much planning and more doing. This time I feel, again, no rushing. You're growing something solid. That was the one it was with, the growth card. About really ensuring that this time you are building up from the foundations instead of jumping ahead, and realizing again the results may not happen instantly, but I feel like you are already, like I said, halfway there. So the results will start coming in as so long as, again, you are planning, taking your time and just not rushing into it, because there's no need. You already have half of what you need. So you do not need to try and get ahead too quickly. It is a time for healing, and I think by doing this, if you are doing something again, it heals the wounds of the attempts the first time, or just more, you're in this space that is much more you than prior to this. I hope that makes sense. Bring love into the situation. And yeah, that's what I kept reminding you after most of the cards. It's kind of like, get to work, you've got a plan, you're in this energy, but make sure you be kind and let the love in. And that is exactly what this is. Again, just reminding you to ensure that you are nurturing and being kind to yourself, especially if you are having self-doubts or worries. We can often, especially in the focused mindset that we're in, we can often be a bit harsh to ourselves. So ensure that you are, again, nurturing your way in and you're doing the best you can. If one day is a little bit more tough, understand that are you just too hyper-focused, that the toughness is not actually true, it's not actually what you're feeling, but it's like you're trying to tough love yourself into doing something that is not effective, and it's not going to make it any quicker, any easier. So again, kindness for yourself it goes a long way. But I also feel as though ensuring that you are accepting the love and acknowledging people around you who are supportive of you as well. And potentially there is that energy of, like, you're not alone. There are people around you that also are there for you in whatever your situation is. So I hope that makes sense, Libra. Thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe to my channel to keep up to date. I will be posting monthly and weekly. So I hope to share this year with you. Thank you so much.